when you're improvising, you're telling a story, and if it's your story, can't nobody really tell you, like that's a wrong story. You ain't, that's not how the story went. You're telling a story, and if you can tell a story from the beginning of those 12, 16 bars, 48 bars, depending, you're telling the story. So you just, but it's
it's weird. That's where I'm at, like with it too. I think because at first I was just trying to play, like you say, like the legends before, but then somewhere in the middle was like they already did that. You know what I mean? So. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Michael Jamil, aka Mike G, and I want to welcome you to another episode of the Hot Tea and Incense podcast. And I got a special guest with me today. I got my man Duane Smith, dope trumpeter, jazz head, and the leader of the Fuzz Band.
Yes, sir.
One of the dopest groups around.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that.
Already know. So I want to just start off with your background, man. I know we were just talking. You from New York?
Yes.
What brought you to Virginia originally?
Two stories. One, my mentor Weldon Irving which is an amazing keyboard player. He wrote for Nina Simone.
Oh wow, okay.
Actually, there's a documentary. Was it Summer of Soul going out on Hulu now? And you would see him kind of like. Well, I'll have to show you, but anyway, Weldon had a jazz workshop. And I was part of this jazz workshop that I went to in high school, like every Tuesday, and it was just a blessing. Q-Tip was in this jazz workshop.
Oh, word! Wow.
Lenny White, just a lot of Queens cats. Casey Benjamin, a lot of good people, and Weldon played me a recording of Hampton University Jazz Band, and I thought they were pretty good. At the time, they had J.D. Allen, which is an amazing tenor saxophone player in New York, who's killing it now. Elias Bailey, bass player, who didn't go to Hampton but went to, I think, Ferguson High School. But he played with Freddie Cole. And like these cats, it was just like Derek Gardner.
It was a whole
group. It was like a group of
lions,
like all at the university. So I said, let me do this. And then
so you went to Hampton.
Yeah, I decided to go to Hampton University. I got recruited by the late great Bob Ransom, and he brought me in, and and a girl too. Like I had a girlfriend that was happy to go in there, and so.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Word. So I got my record player.
Yeah.
And I've been kind of trying to dig into the legends and just getting that vibe of where the heritage of the music came from. How did you get when did the jazz bug hit you, and how'd you really get deep into it?
I'd say the jazz bug hit me in I want to say high school, to tell you the truth. I was mostly a classical trumpet player. At first, I was playing in churches and doing all types of anthems and that type of thing. And then I got into Wynton Marsalis, and then
Wynton, okay.
Yeah, and because Wynton Marsalis was like a virtuoso in classical as well as jazz, I started leaning over into the jazz side, and then I liked what Wynton was doing, but then in finding Wynton, I started going back, so I found Freddie Hubbard. Then in Freddie Hubbard, I found Miles, and I just have stayed in Miles Davis.
That's my only record, Kind of Blue, Miles Davis.
Well, that's the one to have.
I just keep repeating it, and you're gonna get something.
Even if you don't
new.
like jazz, you need that record, in your library. But yeah, Miles. I just heard him, and I used to go to the libraries. This, I guess, is telling my age. Going to the libraries, and they had a record player, and my mom was going to college at the time. But while she was in her class, I would go to the library and just literally listen to Miles for hours.
Wow.
And that just kind of changed everything for me. And then a strange record at that. It was my, people usually start with Kind of Blue, but I started with Porgy and Bess, which is Miles and George Gershwin, which is amazing.
I have to check that out now.
Oh man, change your life.
Trumpet players, man, y'all be on another vibe. I can't even lie. Me being a sax man, John Coltrane, Dexter Gordon.
Yes.
But it's just another different vibe I get with the trumpet players of the past and now. Like I like Roy Hargrove.
Oh yeah.
And new cats, Keon Harold.
Oh yeah, Keon's killing.
Theo Croker.
Yeah, he's. If I'm correct, Theo is a legacy trumpet player because his grandfather was Doc Cheatham, I believe.
Yep.
And Doc Cheatham played a Blue Note brunch for I want to say 30 years or something in New York. You could catch him any Sunday up until the time he died. So it's
wow.
just, But yeah, man, it's crazy. But I love saxophone too.
I got to sit in with him too in DC.
Theo?
Yeah,
he's killing.
They ate me up though. They played they played Straight No Chaser. I was like, whoa! I thought you was gonna play some of that cool stuff you did off the album.
Nah, they went straight to the standard.
Yeah,
but that's a good standard.
It was fun though.
But yeah, but I got into those are my first two records actually. It was Porgy and Bess, Miles, George Gershwin, the whole thing. But then Love Supreme. That's all I listened to for a long time. All the movements.
Yeah.
And loved Coltrane. And I got into listening to him in a weird way too by listening to another trumpet player.
Yeah, man, it's like with Coltrane, it's that mood. The mood really gets me with the tone. And even on this record, you'll hear Coltrane go and then you'll hear Cannonball.
Yeah.
And it's just
Day and night.
It's a dream team.
Yeah.
Facts. Different vibes.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this then. Just going off since of the past to present of jazz, what is your take on the current state and what do you see going in the future? Do you think it's going to become more digitized, more infused with hip hop? Because I know that's kind of what's been going on.
I think the future of jazz has a good potential because there's some people that are at the forefront that know their history, know where it came from, and they want to transcend it. They don't want to keep it in a box. They want to take it to that next level. So I feel it'll keep on. I know Nicholas Payton doesn't even like calling it jazz per se because they say it's a made-up word by
I heard that too.
That's the word they named
Put it
our
in a
music.
box.
Yeah, and then even everything with Miles, I think when you think of jazz, even though I'm not being biased because I'm a trumpet player, but Miles is just the trendsetter. He is responsible for 5 different types of music. The modal jazz, the bebop. He's got even smooth jazz. He's one of the first cats that was doing the smooth jazz. He got involved in the hip hop joint. He did the West Coast jazz. All those different. He just wanted to keep on transcending.
And I think that was his secret weapon. I feel cause it was a quote he said. He was any artist that want to pretty much stay alive, you gotta reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
You can't just stay the same. So
go with the times.
Facts.
Art Blakey, same thing. Art Blakey, the Jazz Messengers, amazing group. But I think the shelf life on that group was when you hit 25, 26, he was looking for the new young guys coming up. He was out the group.
Oh, facts.
He was
I almost forgot, man. We done right then. So I want to read the T captions.
Okay.
So mine says, "One who knows how to enjoy life does not need riches."
That's good. Mine says, "Let your need be to help those in need." So that's good. I feel that.
Facts. I don't know about it right now. I wouldn't mind a few riches, but I do get what that saying is though, because it's like even just the simple stuff now is like riches. Like me just listening to a record, chilling. What we doing right now is a
Yeah.
form of riches. So
Yeah, you gotta, like, I mean, and one thing, you don't sweat the small stuff as far as stress, but you do have to celebrate, like waking up and celebrate being able to take a breath or walk from here to there. They're
facts.
little accomplishments, but realize not everybody can do it. So
That's
yeah,
a
man.
fact. So next, I want to touch on this. So I'm a student,
Okay.
and I guess you're always gonna be a student
Yes.
of jazz. But
Yes.
to anyone looking to grow rapidly, learn the language, and be able to, really dig into it, what is your advice for all the young musicians out there looking to grow?
I would say one of two ways. What they normally say is like, you can go listen and transcribe, which is like
Transcription.
transcription is the key. If you can, like, it's one thing to transcribe something, but it's another thing to take in,
Internalize.
internalize it.
That's where I'm at. Like,
you know.
I realize like some stuff I've transcribed, I can play it back, but it's not gonna come to my thought process when I'm soloing.
Yeah.
So that's where, like, how do you get to the point where you can internalize?
I think it's just like, that's the beautiful thing about this music. Like, I feel like the older you get, or like some people are just born with amazing ears from jump, so they got it.
Yeah.
But I think another thing is just transcribing and then playing what you played, then transcribing it in all different keys, then playing with the record that you got the transcription from, do your solo, record your solo, transcribe your solo. See what happens when you approach the record in your own mind and your own
Transcribe your own
transcribe
solo.
your own solo, and see what happens, just see what happens. But once you get a understanding, it's really like, is I feel like, I guess, I am, to get religious, whatever. God gives us everything we need. It's just a matter of us like tapping in to what we need to connect, because it's all, you got it already. What in your heart, your head, your ears, you have it. It's just a matter of like turning on the switches and be like,
That's crazy.
I got it now. Like,
That sounds like another Miles Davis quote. He said like, it takes an artist a lot of time and practice just to play like themselves.
Yes.
I'm like, what?
Yes, and I think that's, I think that's the issue too. Like, I mean, I don't want to get too political, but I feel like sometimes the people that were in charge of jazz are still looking for those, well, he's not playing like Bird, he's
Copies.
not playing like, he's not playing like Freddie, so he must not understand the language. But some people just interpret the language different, and then I think those are the people that should be celebrated. The people that take it, you got to know your stuff or know your chords, or when you see the chords, be like, okay, I know I can play, this 2/5 here, I can play this, whatever. It's good to know all that stuff, but like going back to saying that it's all in you still, and it's, you just got to apply it, applying it, what you know and what you have inside you that God already gave you. You just got to put it in the paper, put it in the solo, but you remember, as a musician, regardless of, even if you don't know the changes, like sometimes I've been on a jam session and they like call some song, because most musicians, as you know, can be like jerks or whatever, but like, but they like, yeah, do this song, do Countdown in F sharp, and you like, what? So, all right, but the thing is, like, you have to remember and tell yourself, when you're improvising, you're telling a story, and if it's your story, can't nobody really tell you, like, that's a wrong story. You ain't, that's not how the story went. You're telling a story. And if you can tell a story from the beginning of those 12, 16 bars, 48 bars, depending, you're telling the story, So you just, but it's...
And it's weird. That's where I'm at, like, with it, too, I think. Because at first I was just trying to play, like you say, like the legends before. but then somewhere in the middle is like they already did that. You know what I mean? So I just want to learn how to use the toilet, to reference the drum line.
Yeah.
I just want to learn how to use the toilet, so now I can say, I'll flush it like this, or I'll flush it like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
And that's important, because that's another thing too with like this, some generations too, like they want to, not even, I don't even know what it'd be flushing. It'd be like, they want to wash their hands even before they went to the bathroom, so it's almost like foundation is very important. So it is good to learn all of the,
that's a sound bite for you. That's fire.
To learn, it's good to learn all of the knowledge that you can and that you can apply to your instrument, and then knowing your instrument, because another thing with jazz is like, is not, you can't mess around on your instrument. Like you have to have good control to do the things that, if you want to speak the language, or at least get a good command of your instrument. But all that to say is it's just a funny balance. It's like you do have to learn the rules, but once you know the rules, you can break them.
Right. So on that note, I just want to cross over. You've been a band leader in the area, Fuzz Band, and it's another group.
My wife and I have Rocky 7. There's the Nick Band. There's
quite a few.
It's a few. I like music.
That's what's up. So, and in your time, as far as like in this area of Virginia, gigging and just I say networking, and what are the rules of that, and how did you go about building relationships? And was it like a hard process, or was it just something you fell into from college?
I think it's still an ongoing process, even though I've been here so long. But, when I came from college, the reason why I even wanted to do my own thing is because, you come from college, you're visiting, you're not a quote-unquote local, whatever that is. And then it's like, you're almost like a foreigner. So a lot of people don't want you to come in and take gigs.
Yeah.
So me, who I started gigging when I was 13, 14, and contracting, doing like booking gigs, contracting gigs, and everything from that age. So when I came here, I was like, yo, where are the clubs? Where's the jazz spot? Where's this? Where's this? And people were like, hold on, young fella. You'll get to it when
exactly.
You'll get to when you'll get the opportunity when it lends itself. But I didn't want to wait, so I created like Fuzzy Wednesdays and my open mic. So it was like, if they're not giving you gigs, and I think I see you do this too. It's like if people aren't throwing gigs at you, create your own gig.
Create your own.
Do your own. It's easier to control. You got to deal with yourself and your band, and not like the politics and stuff. So that's what I did, because that's the problem here too. As far as building relationships, and if it was hard, I just tried to I just want my band to be the best they could be, as far as like whatever they did. Like if we did music, whether it was rock and roll, jazz, funk, I wanted it to sound true
to the genre.
I
get that from you too.
And still not, of course, put a little, our little oomph on it, but still, I wanted to be, I wanted to be true to it. So it's not like, it's like
funk. You don't want to seem like an imposter.
Yeah, and it's strange, very strange, because like when you play other genres, and if you play other genres well, sometimes I feel like in other places you're rewarded, but then sometimes I feel like in our with us we're not rewarded as much, So
I'm glad you said that.
So it's like,
so now we touching on the real.
She killing it, but you doing like, they alright, but like it's a weird thing. But
we're touching on the real issue now too, because what I see is like there is a choice, because you can be, your technique can increase, and your popularity can decrease at times.
Yes.
So it's like you have to make a conscious decision to say, do I want to, now it's like survival too, because you like, I want to get as successful as I can be. So now do I just keep going deeper into this, or do I spend my time, I'm going to give you this watered down, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what y'all want to listen to. I'm going to give it right to you.
Yeah. So somebody told me recently, and he hit me with it, and I was like, he hit me with it because he was like, he said something like where I was playing with the artist, and the artist hit this chord, and he was taping me, and he saw me put my head down like, oh my God, like what is happening? Like this cat is killing. But he looked around in the club and saw that I was probably one of the only people that noticed what was going on. So it's almost like, it's just a strange thing. People don't necessarily want to hear music. They want to hear a song. And that's like crippling, but at the same time, I'm glad you said what you said, because they are some of the baddest musicians you will ever hear and see, but you don't know them. You don't know where they are. They are in their apartment playing to a wall, practicing 17 hours a day, and they might come out and do a gig in New York, you know what I'm saying, for like, $70, $60 or whatever, but it's the most beautiful, but that's how it is, like you have to make that decision, like, do I want to be like, because you can be the best you can be. And like we said, God gave it to you already. But then at the same time, it's like, sometimes nobody knows. It's like if a tree, like if a tree falls in a,
bro, that sounds so sad. Like
it's sad. Nobody knows. Like if a jazzer practices in the forest, do we hear him? Like it's kind of crazy. But,
so on that note, man, I think we went over our time a little bit,
sorry,
but
man.
No, it ain't your fault. It's good. I want to close out. So let's say, can we expect any new albums coming soon?
Yes. There is. My wife and I have a production company, Duane. We have an album coming out where I love placements. That's our market. Like,
Word.
Put it in the movie,
Facts.
That's what we want. Fuzz Band has an amazing album with, like, the Moonchild helped us with some horn lines.
Word.
Justin Coughlin played some keys on it. Like, I mean, it's like a lot of, I hollered at this guy named Jules Bartholomew, which is a killing gospel. Yeah, I went to high school with him. So it's just like, it's a great album. But I mean, that's one of those
out
things.
Already, right?
No, it's coming.
Oh, it's coming.
But I've been sitting on it. But it's just one of those things.
So where can they find? Tell them where to find you at.
Oh, you can find us at www.thefuzzband.com. The Fuzzband Instagram, the Fuzzband, anything and everything. The Fuzzband. That's kind of where we are for the most part.
Word. And in this area, Virginia Fuzzband.
Yeah, VA Fuzz
Ring
Band.
bells, man. So
Yeah.
a lot of people I talk to, they always got good things to say about the Fuzz Band. So
Thank you.
Appreciate you for being
Appreciate
on,
you,
man.
Thank you for having me. And some
My man Duane
good
Smith. Next time we'll let him bring his trumpet. We can just start right into a jam session.
Just hit it.
But again, thank y'all for tuning in to the Hot Tea and Incense podcast.